I don't want to get in between this because I'm just going to be very...
Being practical. Throw us a subscribe, a review, whatever you want. It helps out.
How many subscribers do we have now?
Let's keep that in-house. You would clearly enjoy the Biggie concert more than the Prince concert.
Easily. Why? You'd walk out of the Prince show, you'd be like, I should have fucking picked him.
All right, we're going to talk about flip-flopping. We're going to talk about this kid Matt here.
What did I do?
You know what you
I'm
did.
a pillar of consistency.
This is a trash brand. Come on. You could do better. This is a Grizzly.
Well, hello and welcome back once again, everybody, to another episode of the Memo. We are extremely happy to be back, as always. Let me get our little welcome to the show on the bottom here. We need everyone to feel welcome and like they belong. Another fun week in the world of the NFL. We have so much stuff to talk about. We finally have a positive hometown report. Not just one wins, but 2 wins in the state of New York. 3 if you want to count the dumb Bills. Then we're going to go through a bunch of fun storylines from this past week, talk about some stuff coming up next week, and we're going to do our weekly predictions, and we have another fan coming on the show to put his hat into the fire, or whatever the fucking phrase is. I don't know. What is it? Ring in the something, fire?
Throw his hat in the ring.
Hat in the ring. Ring in the fire.
Fire is not really related.
Someone has a hat that's on fire. All right, so we're going to get going with the hometown report. We do have Mike Melda in the chat, big supporter over here.
Mike, how we doing, Mike? Good to see you.
He might be the secret fan that will be joining us later, but we won't tell you.
Spoilers, dude.
All right. Well, here we go.
Send me the link, by the way.
To what?
I got you.
All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with our hometown New York Jets. There we go, baby. That's how you get your first win of the year. Am I right? Mr. Yigal?
Yeah.
Yigal Harari, the only person in the world who could put money on his team losing and then scream for joy when they win in overtime on a missed field goal by the other team. What a way to get your first one for Saleh, for Wilson, for the whole young team over there.
And it only took me to give up losing $500. But it's all good.
Well,
all
they still would have won if you didn't place that bet. But
I don't think so. I think what I do affects it.
Butterfly effect.
Hey, you're superstitious like that?
Big time.
He was saying throughout the day, he's like, you know what? If the Jets win and I lose my bet, I'll gladly lose for the Jets to win. I was like, well, technically, if you didn't
pay $500 for the Jets to win every game?
I don't know about
every game. Like 500 per game or 500 to go 17-0.
Oh, per game.
Oh, come on.
No, but it was mad funny. I was like, it's a win-win scenario for me. Like if they win, it's a Jet win. If the Titans win, it's
But it was also technically a lose-lose scenario.
Well, I didn't know that until the end. It ended up going to be
a tie. If it's a win-lose on each side.
But, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you win money or the Jets win, it's kind of like a win-win. Then it was going for a tie, and I was like, the only thing that could fucking do it, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would have been real bad.
Amanda Prokop in the chat says hi. Anyone know who that is?
Hello, Amanda.
Amanda, thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Amanda.
I think that's Melda's girlfriend or fiance.
Really?
Oh, we got
nice.
a happy couple.
Wow, look at that. That's awesome.
Definitely
tuning in.
Oh, congratulations to you too.
All right. So we're starting with the Jets. I think we should talk about what this means for the team. Are people going to overreact to one win? I'm sure they are. But we're going to talk about it right here on the show.
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
How do you feel about it? What does this mean for the upcoming games and the future of the team for this season? Melda says he would have stormed the field if they tied. I think a lot of people would be really pissed if that's how the first non-loss of the season went.
I mean, how long was the field goal for the Titans?
Like
to tie it?
51 or 53.
It wasn't even close, really, right?
Yeah, it was wide left by a lot. All right, so I don't know. Yigal, you want to start us off? You always start us off with some nice Jets call. 49 yards it was. Thank you, Melda. So what do you think? Going forward? We got the Falcons next week. Does this change your outlook on the team after what we spoke about last week, where you absolutely roasted Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur and Joe Douglas? What is your current status as a Jets fan?
I think I've completely changed the outlook on the team. I got on here a couple weeks ago saying I don't know where the Jets are even going to find a win this year. But I'm happy it was against Tennessee. I know that they were short a couple players, Julio and A.J. Brown, but still,
decent players.
Definitely decent players. But, the offense looked good. They were clicking. The plays just looked good when things went into shambles. Zach Wilson just knew what to do with the football on a broken play. And I really feel like he's like a mastermind for that.
Mastermind, big words.
Mastermind for the broken play. That's what I'm gonna call it.
He is good at it. I will say that.
Mastermind.
Yeah. Obviously, beating the Titans, no matter who they're down. Julio Jones and AJ Brown are two of the best receivers in the league when they're fully healthy. But either way, the Titans are a better roster. At this point, you'd say they're a better coach team, just because they have proven guys all over the staff. Ryan Tannehill has shown he's a capable quarterback in the league. So go out there and, after it looked like another slow start, down like 9-0, offense isn't moving the ball, to come back and just, stay in the game and then get those big plays like once to Keelan Cole down the field, that bomb to Corey Davis. Just to see that spark and the team not give up is obviously a positive sign for a young team that's learning how to win and, trying to build that winning culture. In the live chat, Ariel Diaz, Matt is literally the worst. 100% agree. I think that should actually be the caption on the bottom of the show right now. Matt is literally the worst.
She knows her shit.
She does. A lot of stuff. Should come on the show and we could make that a whole topic.
Nothing. Moving on.
So as I'm saying, I love the way they responded to after struggling for the first 3 weeks of the year. They didn't just lay down and die. They brought the energy, and that's good to see. And I think positive thing is that you are playing the Falcons next week, another team that's struggling, that you can take advantage of if you don't get too ahead of yourself, because Matt Ryan is still a good player. They still have good players on that offense. They can move the ball. We'll see. But I liked after they told us that they want Zach Wilson to play boring football, that he still came out and was just, gunslinging it down the field. Like he doesn't play afraid.
Who said to play boring football?
The coaches. They were like, he needs to
Rob
learn.
Saleh.
And I said it too. I was
He's
like,
not listening to his coaches.
I mean, they obviously drew up the game plan for him to not do that still. I think it was more not play. It was more like, take what you can get instead of just trying to launch it downfield every play, which, it seemed like he did a bit of a better job of that, but he's still not afraid to take those risks. It wasn't like putting him in the box and saying, try not to go for those big plays because they lead to mistakes. Like he still went for it.
It just seemed like he was making the right play at the right time. Like when we were watching together, I was saying like he's just hitting the check downs at the right time. Like he's making the correct passes. I know sometimes like he would miss a few throws, like that one that should have ended the game to Corey Davis at the end of regulation. But like, rookie mistakes, you live and you learn with it. You just saw like really good progress, and it was a really good week out of the Jets. And honestly, also having like a guy like Jamison Crowder back, like really did wonders for him. Clearly,
you noticed how much better he is than a guy like Braxton Berrios, who we had a lot to say about last week on the show. Alex, you're always the more level-headed Jets fan of the three of us. I want to hear what you have to say about the offensive side of the ball, and then if you want to get into the defensive side of the ball as well, because I want to talk about that next. And then Matt, you can fuck off.
Yeah, I mean the Jets are always good for.
I got
for
a
one.
lot to say.
The Jets are always good for one upset every year. So, it's early in the season. It usually comes a little later. They usually start like 0-9, and then the team wants them to tank, and then they win, unfortunately. But you want to see them put this together, string a few together. They have the Falcons coming up. In most Jets seasons, they pull off the upset against a good team. They turn around against a terrible team and lose and get embarrassed. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they, after this upcoming week, they're 2-3. They're the home team over in London, so a lot of British Jet fans over there.
That is true.
I'm not going to overreact to this. It's a good win. I want to see them put a few together. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. They got like we're talking about right now. They got the Falcons coming up, bye, and then back playing New England, who embarrassed them all around last time. So moving on to the defensive side of the ball, obviously, even besides the score, it got to be the best showing of the year. They scored 20-something points. You don't want to say it was a great showing, but it seemed like they were making stops when they had to, holding the Titans to field goals. Like that game could have easily gotten out of hand. It was only 9-0 because the defense wasn't letting them score touchdowns. Bryce Hall played another great game. He was targeted 8 times and only let up 2 catches for 27 yards. He's looking pretty good so far. I don't think he's had a true, great test. He'll be going against Calvin Ridley next week, so that'll be nice to see. But the front 7 and the D-line, what did I say? With Carl Lawson, top 3 defensive line. Without him, with top 8, they were getting all in Tannehill's face, hitting him, it seemed like, on every play. They had like 7 sacks. At different guys. You had Quinnen Williams. You had Bryce Huff. You had Bryce Hall, the cornerback, getting in there. C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams.
The
TikTok star. Yeah, he doubles as a TikTok star and a Jets player, and he gets taller and stronger and then, slims down for his TikToks. No, so just a bunch of different guys. Franklin Myers that we talk about all the time, the underrated king. And that's what you want to see. When you don't have that one guy who was supposed to be Carl Lawson to rush the passer, you want to see contributions from a bunch of different guys. And, and now it's looking to be consistent with some of these guys like Quinnen, like John Franklin Myers, like Sheldon Rankins, like Huff. So that's another good step forward.
I froze again, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, you always do. But you'll come back like you always do. So that was exciting to see. They're gonna have their you're back. They're gonna have their ups and downs still throughout the year. Got young players back there. Michael Carter playing well, but rookies, linebackers are flying off the board left and right, getting hurt. So we'll see what happens. But just a fun game, a fun win. I haven't cheered for. I really have not cheered for a Jets win in like 2 years now. Because last year when they beat the Rams, I was furious. I was literally punching the table. Like when they almost beat the Raiders with Joe Flacco, I was absolutely livid. Who ruined all my round robin bets? The goddamn Jets, says Kirby. There you go.
Yes, that is true.
Yep.
Kirby and I did speak.
They ruined my teaser, but it's all good.
And
they ruined a lot of bets.
You know what I have to say to you, Mr. Kirby? I am absolutely ecstatic that they did that to you. Sorry, I just am.
Bad guy.
Yeah,
I lost money on the Titans. Y'all lost money on the Titans. I think everybody in the world lost some money on the Titans. And that's one thing that I want to talk about is how bad the Tennessee Titans defense is. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from the Jets. They earned that win. Their defense looks very good. Stopping the Titans on holding them to field goals in those first couple possessions was obviously huge. But I have now said this each week, and I know this is the hometown report and it's for the Jets conversation, but
no, we could
just looking at the Titans, a team that actually has, like, I would imagine they think they can win a Super Bowl, like the way that they built the team, they want to compete for a Super Bowl. They are completely one-dimensional on offense. I mean, not one-dimensional. They're like they can only play offense. Their defense is one of the worst that I've seen in the NFL through 4 weeks. And
their offense hasn't been that good either.
No, the offense has not looked great. They lost a game. Who else did they lose to? They lost. They're 2-2 now. They lost week 1, I think, to.
They lost some game like 32-30.
Yeah, so they're going to be in these high-scoring games. They're going to rely heavily on the offense to keep them going, but the defense is really, really bad. And credit to the Jets for exploiting them and making them pay for that on the defensive end. Zach Wilson made a lot of good throws, especially in the fourth quarter, to bring those games back.
They lost the Cardinals week 1.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll get to the Cardinals. They look like the best team in the NFL, so fair game. But I don't know, man. That team has a lot of issues right now, and credit to the Jets for being able to exploit them and get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a fun week overall. I don't know if we can move on if you want, because I know me and Igal can go off all day about this, but there was some other fun news in New York for our stadium sharing football team, the New York Giants. So if we want, we can move on to them. And again, another overtime win. They actually won before the Jets did. Their game ended before the Jets, so they got the first win of the day for the winless teams. And it's just so funny seeing doom and gloom for these 3 weeks, like on the sports radio, on Reddit, on Twitter, like everyone talking about how the sky is falling just for one week to change everyone's attitude about everything.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's not act like these teams are about to go on runs right now.
No.
They beat the fucking Saints and the Titans. Well, I mean, look, Saints and Titans are not. Those are decent wins.
No. So what I'm saying is not that like they have turned it around. It's just funny that like everyone has that doom and gloom attitude, rightfully so, because the teams look terrible. Only for 1 week to completely flip the switch for everybody.
It is funny that it happened on the same week, both in overtime against games where, like, at that point,
they were playing at the same time.
Yeah, they were playing at the same
both
time.
In the 1 o'clock slot,
and they had shown poorly enough for the first 3 games that everybody going into these games were like, all right, they're gonna get killed now. Like, now we know they're bad. They're both 0-3. Like, they're gonna continue to lose. And then they flipped the switch. So the Giants looked really good. I think they did. They also came from behind as well. They were losing most of that game to the Saints.
Yeah,
they were.
And, they were losing like 21-10 in the fourth.
Yeah, and somehow they were able to pull it back. And we spoke a lot last week about Daniel Jones. And Igal, I want to get your take on this. Say what you want about PFF. He's the number 2 graded quarterback in the NFL through 4 weeks. Daniel Jones put together a 400-yard day. I believe he has 1 interception on the season. That's because of a Hail Mary at halftime or at the end of the game, and that was on this past Sunday. I mean, Danny Dimes is looking like a player out there.
I don't think so, man.
How can you say no? How can you say no?
No, because Igal doesn't believe in improvement.
Whatever
you were 2 years ago, he's settled.
That's not true. Listen. The guy I don't know. He just seems like the same old like boring quarterback. Like I get it. Like 400 yards, 400 yards through the air. I get it. But what did it do? Like
they won.
Came back and won the game.
Okay, I get what I'm. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Though. I'm saying the offense doesn't produce enough points for 400 yards, and Daniel Jones isn't really. How many touchdowns did he throw?
2
touchdowns. It's garbage.
Saquon had a touchdown. They rushed for one.
And you
we're also missing Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton.
I'm not a believer in the
two of their best weapons.
I'm not a believer in the quarterback.
I also said on this show last week, Daniel Jones is not the option, and he shut me up real quick.
I mean, what you're gonna complain
it's,
about?
What more can you do?
Great. It's a good week, but you know what? They have a really tough season ahead of them, and I don't think they're going to get a lot of wins.
Different conversation about then the quarterback.
I get it, but that's all I'm saying is I don't think he's the guy for them. That's what you're asking me, and that's what I'm telling you. He had a good week, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's had a good season.
Great, dude. But you know what? You're 1-3. You're 1-3. So relax. Like you beat the Saints. I get a decent team in overtime. Whatever. Good win.
I think that you're putting too much of the blame on Daniel Jones. The team is so flawed in other areas, especially like Alex said, beat up with the wide receivers. Even when they're healthy, that wide receiver group is not producing how you would expect. Their defense has vanished. The defense that they had last year is now not the same. And honestly, the only stable part of this team so far has been Daniel Jones playing well and not turning the ball over and not making the mistakes that you're used to him making. Yeah, so, you know I mean, there's blame to go around. I just think you have to give credit where credit's due because we all were in the same boat coming into the year that Daniel Jones is probably done after the season with the Giants. And none of us really believed that he was like the answer for them. He has done all you could ask him to do to this point of the season.
Yeah, I agree with Matt on this one. And I was kind of saying it. I don't watch every snap of the Giants game, but tuning in here and there.
You're an insane person.
Yeah, and then looking at the after seeing his stats, like I was trying to say, like I feel like he's really not the reason they're losing games compared to previous years where he has those fumbles, he has those interceptions, he has those questionable decisions that he makes, and it seems like he's not doing that at this point. And now to throw for 400 yards is impressive no matter what, obviously. And it's one game. But I don't know. I at this point, I think he's done what he has to do. I think the play calling is still suspect. They don't look like they run a modern offense from what I'm seeing. Like it just doesn't look like they finally was he injured? Kadarius Toney, is that why he wasn't playing?
No.
No, I know he played and he played well. That's why I'm like wondering. They weren't
using
using him. Like they finally, and he had like 70 something yards. He made some nice plays with the ball in his hands. I don't know. I just feel like it's like him and Darnold are in a similar boat where people like their previous years they just weren't great, and now that they're playing well, people don't want to kind of accept it or buy into it again when they had hope for them, and now like they're both kind of producing at a higher level than they have before, and people are still like, no, it's not real. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Everybody, it seems like they already had their predetermined outcome of what Daniel Jones is. And like that's what it is, and that's honestly that's exactly what you sound like, Yigal. Like you already wrote off Daniel Jones, and there's nothing he can do to change your mind.
Yeah.
Oh come on,
Yeah,
dude.
I'll put my 2 cents in. I like what Daniel Jones has been doing. I think he's been playing good football. That being said, I also kind of see what Yigal's saying. This team had through the first 4 games has been playing not at all the best teams in the league so far. They've played the Broncos, who are 3-1, but we know they're kind of fake news. They played the Washington football team. They played the Falcons, and they played the Saints, and they're 1-3. Yeah. So if they're a decent football team, you expect them to take at least 2 of those games. And I just think losses to the Redskins and the Washington football team and the Falcons are bad losses. So if you're going to be a quarterback that's going to take this team to the next level, you have to beat teams like those. That being said, he did get a win against the Saints, and we'll see if he can start, putting together some better games, some more, games like this past one where he throws for 400 yards and wills his team to a victory despite the circumstances.
And also, like I said last week, we talk about the Falcons game and the Washington game. Like those are tough losses. You want to be able to beat teams like that. I think that they're on similar level of those teams, which is obviously not great. But they lost 2 games. They lost back-to-back games on last-second field goals. So they're in these games. They're competitive. They're just falling a little short. I don't think that they're that far off as it seems, maybe. But they need to shore up to the defensive side of the ball, because it seems like, especially with the Falcons and with Washington, whenever those teams needed to come down and get finish the game, they did that. So that needs to
but they against the Falcons they let up 17 points. It was the offense that didn't come through there.
Right.
So
that's true.
I think this team is maybe not as far off as they were last season. But you can't score 14 points against Atlanta at home. No team that's close does that.
What I think they find hard is to have like all 3 phases of the game click in the same game. So like maybe this was one of those games, like against the Saints compared to, against the Falcons, where you only let up 17 points last second field goal.
And this is, I think this is another case of, and we were saying it a couple of weeks ago when we were shitting on Jason Garrett. This is a coaching thing, and I think it rolls all the way up to Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman. It's on Joe Judge to make sure that all 3 phases of the game are prepared and ready to go, and that they perform consistently, and they know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and they have an identity. They don't have that right now. So I'm looking at Joe Judge to turn this around. He's in his 2nd year as a head coach, and he's the one who needs to figure out how to win football games. It's not on Daniel Jones to throw for 400 yards every game. He's only a 3rd-year quarterback. Joe Judge is the head coach. He needs to figure out how to put this team in a position to win.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And this past week was Saquon's best game of the year so far. And Matt's brother Brandon Staley said, you have that element of the run game. It may not open up the pass game like people think it does, but just that physical attack of a running game,
defense on their toes.
That a run game can do to a defense and help a quarterback. It's another dimension that the offense needs. They need Saquon to be they're Zeke Elliott to the Dak Prescott. I'm not comparing Daniel Jones to Dak Prescott. I'm just saying, you need that, different dimension to your offense to make everything click. Just to update here, because we had some people throwing some 2 cents in the live chat, but I didn't want to interrupt what was some good conversation. It seems that some people agree with Igal. 1 overtime win. They won an overtime after 400 yards. Not impressed. Said they aren't winning the close games. It's not the same as last year. I mean, it is the same as last year. That's why we don't like them. There was also looks like a reunion between Mike Melda and Kevin Lee. They're saying what's good. Haven't seen yet. And that's fun. And
Not
Alex,
impressed.
let me ask you something like about the Giants. In the next 6 weeks, I'm gonna tell you the teams that they're playing. Where do you see a win? Dallas, Rams, Panthers, Kansas City, Raiders, and Tampa Bay Bucks. In those next 6 weeks, I don't find a win. They're going 1-9.
That is a gauntlet.
they're gonna beat Dallas.
That's fine. Okay, but I'm not sitting here saying the Giants are about to go make a wild card run. I'm just saying Daniel Jones has looked like a capable starting quarterback for the first 4 games of the season, and I think you wrote him off way too soon last week.
That's fine, but it's like the Jets' problem last year. Like, are you really going to put in your money?
See, that's what you keep bringing it back to the Jets of last year, and you can't accept that Jones might have more success than Jones.
Are you willing to have that? Are you willing to take on that contract? It's a lot of money for a
quarterback. If he plays like this the rest of the season, yeah, I would not get rid of Daniel Jones.
So you're just believe that this is a coaching staff thing. That's it.
The roster is not good. I'm just saying it's a lot of things at once. But Daniel Jones has looked like a decent starting level quarterback.
I
mean, there's nothing.
It's not a talentless. It's not a talentless roster. Daniel Jones in his 3rd year. Slayton, Galladay, Shepard, the tight end Ingram, Barkley.
I think that they'll
on
be
the
able
defensive
to
side of the ball.
They signed some good guys on defense.
That's why I'm attributing it to the coaches. They need to figure out how to, Daniel Jones is doing his part. Everyone's doing their part. They need to figure out how to win football games.
It can't be just individual guys doing their part. It's got to be all of them doing the part together. It's a beautiful dance.
How inspirational.
It's a beautiful dance. Matt, you're right. You cannot compare it to the Jets last year. I know we always want to bring it there because that's.
Someone say my name in the comments.
I think Igal brings it back.
Yeah,
it's Darnold and the Jets.
Darnold's best game last year was worse than Jones's worst game this year. Like, they did nothing. It was pathetic what they were doing last year. Like, he didn't throw for 200 yards until like week 15. So Jones is already light years better than what Darnold was doing last year. Not blaming it on Darnold because it looks like it was.
That's an exaggeration.
I'm not kidding. I believe maybe it might have been 250 yards he didn't break until like week 15, but it was bad. But Adam Gase was the head coach, so that kind of goes to what we're saying. When the coaching isn't good, that's a problem. But
and now Darnold is 4 games into the season. He's having success somewhere else.
Now he has 10 touchdowns in 4 games, and he's Derrick Henry. All right. Cam Lamarnold. Cam Lamarnold, yeah. Or Sam Newton was a good one. I like Sam Newton. All right. So finally, a fun Raiders will watch. You think, someone's Mike Melda said he likes the Giants against the Raiders. I know Matt probably.
Who said that?
Mike Melda.
Melda, you're giving picks. Would you stop fucking giving them out for free in the chat?
They're not playing
he's saying against the Giants.
Giants, Raiders.
Where did that come from?
Do they play the Raiders?
They play the Raiders.
Because Igal was listing off the teams they play, so he was saying
the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Melda's spoiling your picks already.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then Kevin Lee said Melda is delusional.
Well, we're gonna find out.
When we have the picks later, we'll find out. All right, we can move on. Normally,
I need to get another drink.
What was the next topic? We can start talking without you.
You didn't have the lineup ready?
I was trying to get the show.
Talk
started.
about the Bucks-Pats game on Sunday night.
All right. I don't have a headline for this, but you guys heard us talk about it. And finally, for once, we usually move on and say, all right, now let's go talk about some good football because we talk about the Jets and Giants losing. But finally, let's go talk about some more good football because 2-0 in New York, baby. All right.
Yeah. This was the most hyped up game of all time. The pregame promos were fucking out of this world.
Yep.
They had Adele singing over like Tom Brady promotional videos, like "Hello from the." I was just like, Jesus Christ! I mean, it's a big game. I understand, but let's tone it down a little bit here. Allison was cracking up. She was like, "Why is this such an important game?" But I was looking forward to it. And the game was it was sloppy play for the most part, but came down to the wire. The Bucks pulled out a win. I thought Bill Belichick coached a hell of a game. He kept the Buccaneers in check there. That Patriots defense, I think, is legit. Mac Jones had a few good drives, and Tom Brady got the win at the end. Belichick and Brady had the most awkward exchange at
oh my god
at midfield that I've ever seen. But the Instagram hyper uppers were still able to make it seem like they had a long, nice hug.
Dude,
when in reality, like Bill Belichick just like slapped him in the back and walked away.
Dude, I kept seeing all the pictures, and it was like 20 years together, and it was like them hugging, and I was like, if you watch, they literally hugged.
He slaps him in the face, and he's like, "Idiot, we lost."
He literally slapped him in the back, and then Brady started like walking after him like he was his estranged father.
Yeah, it seemed like he wasn't ready for it to be such a quick exchange, but then apparently they talked for 20 minutes after.
Right. Bullshit.
That's fine. No, that is true.
On.
That is true.
That's tabloid fodder.
Because I was watching the post game and they kept saying, "Oh, Brady's coming up next for his interview. Brady's coming up next," and he just never came out. And then they were like, "Oh, Belichick's beating the shit out of him in the locker room. That's why he's not out yet."
You got people saying it's because Bill doesn't kiss his kids like Brady does. I have seen pictures of him.
No, there is photos of him and his daughter.
Yep, he's kissed his daughter on the lips.
Where do you think Brady got it from?
You don't spend 20 years together and not, borrow some traits. But yeah, I want to say I enjoyed the game, but when it was the last game of my parlay, minus $6.50, watching them, keep it close for 4 quarters, only to have 2 open passes to Antonio Brown that don't get completed. But for the spectacle of it, I wish it wasn't raining. I feel like we would have gotten a little more of a shootout. It seemed like the ball was just slipping out of guys' hands, but I agree with you, Alex. Great game plan from Bill. It was, cool seeing Brady run out there. Weird seeing him play against the Pats in New England. He did get booed. I know a lot of people were wondering what's going to happen when he takes the field. I think he ran out of the tunnel and got cheers, but got booed when he came out for the first drive. So I guess he got a little dose of both. But
the rain definitely kind of hurt this game a little bit. You can see like some of the Bucs receivers were dropping balls. Obviously, that Antonio Brown one at the end of the game would have just been the perfect icing on the cake for everybody. Everybody in the world was on Bucs minus 6.5. Okay, Igal, I know you were, Richard was, I was, of course. Igal, you actually took it in our picks also, and that touchdown right there would have sealed it. And of course, like I was saying, the weather just kind of. That first one, I don't know what Antonio Brown was doing. The second one, he should have caught it. It was off his hands. Definitely did not go the way that we expected it to go. But at the same time, we probably should have expected it to be close because, like you said, Richard, the Pats played great defense. Belichick did draw up a great game plan against Brady, which if anybody's going to be able to do that, you would think Bill would be the one to do it. And listen, I know we were all talking throughout the game that this was like, oh, this game sucks. It's boring. It's a snooze fest. If a game's in the fourth quarter and you don't know which team is going to win, you'll be able to get my interest. Like you'll be able to bring it back as long as it's, competitive. They were going back and forth down the field, kicking field goals, unfortunately. But hey, that's what you get in the weather, and the Bucs were able to squeak it out. But the Pats definitely exceeded expectations, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And Yigal, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about some rookie quarterbacks, so here's your chance to touch on another one without making it a rookie quarterback segment.
Yeah, so unlike Daniel Jones, a quarterback who I was impressed with this past week. a quarterback who I was impressed with. Doesn't have to be rookie. Quarterback who I was impressed with was Mac Jones, not Daniel Jones, different Jones. Threw 31 of 40, 275 yards, he had 19 straight completions. Almost tied the franchise record for most consecutive completions. But he just, even in the rain, the magnitude of this game, like Mac Jones really just looked poised, and he had a good game. Like I would have been shitting my pants had I known Brady's return to New England and living up to the expectations and all these things. And he put up a really good game, and he definitely shut me up.
Yeah. Before I go, Alec Boucher, is it, or Boucher? Boucher? I want to say Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, I was thinking it's that. He said his friend took Patriots money line. Sorry about that.
Wow,
and then
bold.
Melda is saying something that I am about to get into. All 5-yard passes. Look, he played a great played a great game. And he does exactly what the Patriots want to do. He's an advanced version of what everyone thought Tom Brady did in New England, dink and dunk. He is the dink and dunk. Brady actually.
Yeah, and he's a rookie.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
You know how Belichick
look at every other
He
rookie.
executed the game plan.
Look at every other rookie. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson,
He's
throwing
not,
downfield, have 10 interceptions on the year.
Okay, I don't know. But you're executing the game plan. You're scoring 17 points. Is he rolling out and throwing a 53-yard bomb to someone? I don't know if I see it. Maybe. I don't know. He just seems like he does what he's got to do. I think he'll be a good player. I don't know if he has that, game-changing arm in his game. But what I wanted to say
Did
was,
Tom Brady ever have a game-changing arm?
Yeah, he's also the best quarterback of all time. So I don't know if we can really talk about that.
I don't know if Bill Belichick's going out trying to draft Zach Wilson.
I mean, Tom Brady threw 23 touchdowns to the best deep threat of all time. So I'm sure he had, game-changing arm.
Yeah, he had a good arm there, but he was never known for his.
Mac Jones to Tom Brady.
Get away from that.
I want to ask. What do you want him to do? Bill Belichick had a game plan. He executed.
You would rather.
They almost won the game.
You would rather have. You would rather have 6 yards per attempt, 275 yards, Mac Jones beating this guy Tom Brady, instead of 400 yards, Daniel Jones beating the Jameis gunslinging Winston.
All I'm saying was in the circumstances of the whole game, the magnitude of the game, it was just an impressive performance. I get it. 6 yards.
I'm obviously joking around, but I'm just impressed by the 275 yards, not 400 yards. A little skeptical of it, but it's fine.
There's different expectations for those guys at this point in career.
Exactly.
I'll say if Zach Wilson had a game like Mac Jones did, I would jump through the roof. Because his other games before this
At least you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, I just, it's just like everyone talks about it like it was the greatest game of all time. It was fine. It was a good game.
Who said that?
You didn't see the guy?
You listen to the Bill Simmons podcast?
No, I literally couldn't listen to it because I knew I knew he'd be like, dude, Mac, man. He's spread him out. He's throwing it all over the place. Look at the throwing chart.
His last 2 episodes were the Brady and the Patriots game, and then the Boston Red Sox winning. I'm not listening to him.
Oh no, you can't. No, yeah, good job by Scrubby. Okay.
I'm very on the fence about Mac Jones' performance here because I get what both of you guys are saying. It's not impressive, when you're watching it, but at the same time, he was right there and he kept them in the game. He's not making mistakes and he's executing what they want him to do. So they'll open it up, hopefully, over the course of the season, and then we'll know more. But for now, it's kind of you don't know how to judge it.
What the Jets said about Zach Wilson, they wanted him to do the boring stuff. If there's a coach in the NFL that wants their QB to get the boring stuff down first and get the fundamentals down first, it's Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And he's going to make sure that he's on a very tight leash until that he proves that he is not going to cost them games otherwise.
Yeah. And he really should have cost him the game too. That pass that he made to and then Devin White just barely missed that interception in the red zone. That was an easy pick 6. That was a terrible,
that
terrible
was
decision.
another time where the bet could have hit.
Where I needed that.
I'm sure all your Massachusetts friends in the chat are loving us shitting on Mac Jones.
They can't be happy with that.
But
hey, you know what? At least what you guys can say right now.
Froze again.
Oh well,
Frozen.
no, not anymore because Zach Wilson. But I was going to say, and Justin Fields. So, just scratch it. Just continue.
All right, Frozen boy.
Good thing I froze because I was going to say.
yeah, so good job, fun game. We'll move on here. We want to talk about.
God damn it!
What happened?
I froze again.
You're back.
Now
You're
good.
fine.
You're back.
We'll move
Did
on.
you guys hear what I said? Because it was
Yeah.
retarded.
Yeah, when you freeze, we can still hear everything you say.
Yeah. We're live now, so that's tough.
Yeah, yeah. Can't edit that one out. Sorry, Matt.
No, all right. Mac Jones has the fewest interceptions of rookie quarterbacks. There you go.
Yeah, good. And he also throws the least amount of deep passes of rookie quarterbacks. So there you go. Look, the key words for now. It's fine for now. He can do that for now, and he'll suck forever. Okay, moving on to the next rookie quarterback who is now finally out of the Matt Nagy doghouse. Justin Fields gets the nod to be the starter the rest of the year. Matt's favorite head coach in the league. You go first. Give us your thoughts.
So they actually announced today, I don't know if you said this, that not only is he out of the doghouse, he's the starting quarterback going forward. And he looked a lot better than he did in the first week, right? Basically, in spite of his head coach. They switched play calling abilities to the offensive coordinator, and they won a game. So what does that tell you?
Tells me they were playing the Lions. He
Fair.
did look a lot better. He was pushing the ball downfield. He looked good. He was making some nice deep balls. But you know, I'll reserve judgment until he plays a team that's not the Lions.
Well, he played the Browns and got absolutely slaughtered. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he looked horrible when he was not playing the Lions, and then he played the Lions and looked pretty good. So, jury's still out. The jury's going to be out for the rest of the season. He's just a rookie. But the Lions are the one team where it's like, doesn't count.
yeah, and he's got a tough sled ahead here.
Really?
Raiders, okay. But they have a pretty decent pass rush with Crosby. Then you got Packers, Bucks, 49ers, Steelers, Ravens. Now, say what you want about the Steelers. Defense is obviously great.
Why is that such a tough slate? They're going to lose a lot of those games, but they're not all great defenses.
You got some great pass rushers all along those teams. I feel like they're just going to eat
Packers
that
defense is Swiss cheese. The 49ers defense is not that great anymore.
It's like overall the defenses aren't great, but they have great pass rushers, and their line is so bad.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Play well.
And that's what Melda was saying. He's going to die. Like the first game, he got sacked, 9 times in one game?
Yeah.
So, I'm really worried about this quarterback. Like, is he going to make it out of this year?
Why is he any different than Zach Wilson's offensive line and Trevor Lawrence's offensive line?
9 times you're going to get sacked
The
in
Bears
a game?
the Bears is worse.
Okay, did the Jets play the Browns this year? You think that these guys are going to be able to hang up?
I'm sure Miles
okay.
Garrett would do great. I'm just saying for your first few starts. No, I mean it happened to Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. Zach Wilson especially playing 3 of the top defenses in the league so far through 4 weeks. He got murdered. We were talking about he's going to die. No different. Don't come at me with this Zach Wilson nonsense.
We said it.
What?
Yeah, what?
I'm just saying. I mean, we know that these rookie quarterbacks are behind bad offensive lines, but
All right, are we going to talk about how Justin Fields played against the Lions?
We're talking about him.
He played well. I'm trying to find something that Matt Nagy said in the postgame that was just god awful.
No,
I'll tell you. I'll if we're going to talk about the actual game, he had some nice deep balls, but he was. I mean, the Lions' front seven is basically non-existent. They were handing the ball off to Montgomery a lot. I think he had 2 touchdowns, and then he got hurt. So. that's important for a rookie quarterback to be able to hand the ball off and use that as a safety blanket. But um, we'll see how these rookie quarterbacks play
Yeah, no, I
over the course of the season.
obviously I thought he played well. It's good to see. I like Justin Fields. I wanted him. I wanted him or Wilson. I kind of just was like, it's gonna be Wilson, so whatever. But I want to see him do well. It sucks that he's stuck on that team with that head coach. I'm
Only
just
for 1 year.
only for 1 year. Yeah, it's just that offensive line could possibly be the worst of the league. Like the Jets might have, and all these teams, Jaguars might have, bottom 5, bottom 10 offensive lines, but the worst in the league. It's either them or the Dolphins. So that's tough.
I feel
Tough
like
for any
every
rookie.
team thinks their offensive line is the worst.
Yeah, come on, 9. He was getting. There was just nothing you could do against the Browns. But we'll see going forward. I'm excited for him to play. It's
Matt Nagy is so stupid as a head
Yeah.
coach. I mean,
He really
and I
is.
said this. They just announced Justin Fields as the starter. Literally 2 days ago, he says when Andy Dalton is healthy, he's our number 1 quarterback. It's like,
You want to know? You want to know what that was? I saw the same article. It was like internal discussions, whatever. That's management telling him like, this is the starter.
right, and okay, and they should do that if you want to go to Andy Dalton instead of just start Justin Fields. But like,
He plays a lot of games with the media. Like
he just looks like an idiot.
Yeah, it makes him look
He is
stupid.
one.
Leading up to the game, this last game, he refused to name a starter. He said it was going to be a game time decision, and then eventually he said it was going to be Fields. I don't know. Maybe he's overthinking what he releases to the media, but just be a little transparent. You just look so stupid.
Man.
It's like you don't have to commit to Andy Dalton. No one's making you make a decision right there. If
He's
you
the
want to
king
switch
of
him,
Instagram quotes. Like an Instagram gets posted of something he said, and it just looks so dumb.
yeah, and it's like that. You think, oh, that must be out of context, and then you see the context, and you're like, well, that is still pretty stupid. So
Yeah.
it's like, why are you committing to Andy Dalton when if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine. You don't have to fucking make him your starter. And now you're going, oh, now Justin Fields is a starter. Okay, so everything you just said for the past 2 months was wrong, and it should have been Justin Fields the whole time anyway.
It really
What's so
should.
funny, Richard?
I'm sorry. Just in the live chat, Melda said Myles Garrett is overrated and the Jets are going to stomp them. And then I said, whoa, slow down. Talking about Myles. I wasn't even thinking about them playing the Browns. I don't think they play them. And I thought I was just talking about Garrett. And then he said, we beat them last year with Gase, easy win. And I said, do the Jets play them? And he said, we'll see them in the playoffs. And that made me laugh. Melda, you're earning your way off of the show here. Just like yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading that, so I kind of tuned out for a second what you guys were saying. And
I
Nagy's
just
stupid.
hate Matt Nagy.
No, I always think that stuff's so stupid. The announcing he's our guy no matter what. It's just like, what if the other guy just plays so much better? And
What if what just happened
happens? Yeah.
Now now Justin Fields.
And
is the
it's just
starter.
like people are like, they're making sure that Dalton feels like they got his back. It's like Andy Dalton doesn't need to fucking know if Matt Nagy has his back.
And now I'm
okay?
sure he feels great that you were lying to
Yeah.
him.
Andy Dalton's fine. He's been in the league however long. He understands. He's not
Probably
like
doesn't give a
not
fuck.
like bro.
It does suck
Probably
that he got hurt. Like, of course he gets hurt with the quarterback controversy, and now they have to go to Fields. Like, he could have just been healthy, played 500 football, and been
I just feel like
played
I feel
behind
like
that line and was like, thank fucking God. I have to play.
yeah.
What were you saying,
The
you guys?
Red
Sorry.
I
Rocket
was saying, I feel
gonna
like
turn into
like,
the dead rocket.
coincidentally, like that always happens with quarterbacks. Like when everyone's like, "Oh, like they should
let
start."
that slide?
What? No, like they're like just like
Insane.
their starting quarterback just like goes down like out of the
Yeah,
blue.
it's
just
it's
like,
always like that one veteran who's in front of the rookie that everyone wants the rookie to play. They just always
always
get hurt.
get injured.
Always.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Like, Tyrod Taylor wasn't getting
He probably
hurt.
stubbed his toe, and they were probably like,
Yeah, Matt. I was just gonna
broken
say,
toe. Get
Tyrod
out.
Taylor was beating the injury curse, so they were like, they gotta stab him in the lung.
Stabbed him in the chest, and they're like, he can't play.
Oh my
And
god.
Jimmy G now is hurt too. You wanted to talk about Trey Lance getting a start. It sounds like Jimmy G might actually be able to play, And that's a guy, I mean, he's hurt every year anyway. That's why they did draft the quarterback. So maybe Trey Lance will get his first career start. He looks like a guy who's pretty shaky too. He has good plays, but then he'll really
Does he have
miss.
the best arm of all time?
Yeah, but he's
No.
not accurate. He looks like Josh
Yeah.
Allen in his rookie season.
He has a rocket.
Rocket, not accurate. That pass, that 75-yard pass to Debo Samuel,
That was the
just
worst throw
that was
ever.
the worst throw I've ever seen. But hey, got me 20 fantasy
There
points.
you
I'm
go,
okay.
Debo. But no, I mean, to Trey Lance, like I said, he looks like a rookie version of Josh Allen, which we know how that turned out. So if that's his trajectory, that'll be fine. But he seemed like they made the right decision making him the backup. But we'll see if Jimmy G can go.
He sucks. All right. This topic there was a wide range here with this Justin Fields topic. We went all over the place. Do we have anything else in between now and our picks, or are we ready to move on to there?
Let's get to the picks.
All right. We're gonna bring in our guest, our most consistent supporter, Mr. Mike Melda, is our live guest this week. He's been in the live chat, I think, every week since we started doing it. Brings up a bunch of funny and great points. So we're happy to have him on.
Too.
Well deserved. Finally getting him in here. If you want to be like Melda, you come in this live chat, you talk to us. We will respond to you. We will talk about what you're saying. It makes for some fun conversation. We laugh. As you can see, me and Igal, we're having and Igal has a fly in his room.
You saw that?
Yeah. All right. So whenever he's ready, we'll bring him on in. I'm sure he hears us talking about him. So, what's the first game that we're doing so I could put it on the?
So we will be picking Chargers Browns.
Okay. Is it Chargers at Browns?
Yes.
Okay. So like we do, Melda's going to come on, our guest, and he's going to give all his picks from the games of the week to the spreads. And wait, he's getting the link. He wrote in the live chat. It is okay. Take your time, sir. Yeah, he's going to give his picks. Then we'll say goodbye, and then we'll all go. We'll do our little round robin. And here he is. And let's.
Mr. Michael Melda.
Oh no, it didn't change yet. There we go.
He's coming.
Oh, I gotta fix my camera though.
How does it look?
It looks fine. The thing's stupid, and I hate everyone. Okay.
Mike, you there, kid?
There he is.
Hey.
Oh, no audio.
No audio.
Oh, come on.
Usually-
What is this? Your first time?
Hey, no, it usually says something like connect to audio. Right
And
when
he's
you go.
vertical. First
Melda.
time vertical. If you know sign language, we could try and
There,
decipher
I
it.
just can't have it right now.
Is connecting to audio.
Now you're on mute.
Oh,
Someone
no.
muted him.
Okay,
There you
this
go.
was-
Now you're good.
Now
There
we
he
hear you.
is. What's up, Melda? How you doing?
Good. I have to use my phone because my computer's all acting up.
It's all
No,
good,
it's-
man. Whatever you
We're
got.
happy to have you here. Welcome
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
glad-
show.
I'm glad to be on.
Thanks for your constant support in the chat. Thank you for coming on. Excited to
I
hear your
tried-
picks. Hey,
I tried
no,
to tell people to
you-
come on, see if they actually, join the show or like join the stream.
we appreciate
We had
it.
some good engagement. I told a bunch of guys from school that you'd be on the show tonight, so they tuned in. Kevin
Yeah,
Lee,
I told a bunch of friends that don't care about football just to join just to see me. So we'll see if they actually,
Perfect.
And they did. We had our most streams ever during the live,
Yeah.
so everyone loves you.
I'm glad.
All
All
right.
right.
Like
Let's
12
let's
people.
get into it here, Melda. You got your picks ready to go?
Yeah, I got some.
You
Just
bet.
gonna win.
You better bring your A game because Kevin Lee in the chat said he guarantees you go 0 for 10, and we only do 4 games, so
Yeah,
you'd
that's
have to
pretty
do
rough.
you'd have to do really bad to go 0 for 10.
Yeah, I know. That's the struggle. Being a Jet
All
fan,
right.
it might happen.
All right, Melda, we're gonna start you out here with the LA Chargers going into Cleveland to face the Browns. What are you thinking?
I like the Chargers, but just it's home for the Browns, and that's the issue there. Like that's a really tough pick there. I think it's going to be the Browns.
You're gonna come on my show and you're gonna pick the Browns.
I know. I really want to pick the Chargers, but just it's at home with the Browns. It's still Justin Herbert's second year. I know he's won some big games, but it's still.
It's a
Okay.
tough pick.
Listen, it's a tough game.
Myles Garrett is a man possessed at the moment, so.
And,
All right, we'll give it to you. You take the Browns. Next, we have I don't know where this game is, Richard. We have the Chiefs and the Bills.
Sunday Night Football
Sunday night. Where is it being played?
That doesn't help where it is, you go.
in Buffalo, I believe.
It's in Kansas City.
Don't listen to me.
Okay, Melda, you got the Bills going into Kansas City.
It's the Bills. I think this is a
Wow.
no-brainer here. I think the Bills are just pissed off about last year from what happened to them. We've been talking about forever. Can the Bills actually beat a good team? I think this is the team that they prove it. And I hate the Bills, but I mean, they're playing amazing. Their defense is phenomenal, and Kansas City's defense is just terrible. So I think the Bills, Josh Allen shows everyone, yeah, you can stop saying I'm not elite because I am, and it just goes from there.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. The Bills' offense looks super, super nice right now.
I did have a question since we are surrounded by Jets. Since I am surrounded by 4 Jet fans here, I know that the Patriots have obviously been the biggest rivalry because of the way the division has unfolded. Is there a lot of hate towards the Bills for Jet fans? I know
I hate them.
Personally, I hate their fans more than the team. Like their fans have become unbearable talking about how great they are.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Rich, remember at the bar?
Oh, that was the funniest thing that's ever happened, dude. We jumped through tables. Grow up.
Their fans
They're
have become
great
really
fans.
arrogant.
Bills
Yeah,
Mafia. Oh, Meldy, you wouldn't be arrogant if Josh Allen was your quarterback?
No, because my team has sucked for so long, I can't talk about it.
So have the Bills.
They have,
All right.
but they've done more than the Jets.
All right, so you're taking the Browns and the Bills for our games of the week. Now, Melda, we
Yeah.
need 2 picks from you. Any games you like with the spread. Give me your first.
I'm taking the Rams over the Cardinals +2
Wow.
Okay.
because
That's a
I
big
think
game.
the Rams, just after that loss, they want to prove they're still the top team. Or not the Cardinals, the Seahawks. I'm playing the Seahawks.
Seahawks, right? That's tomorrow night.
Yeah. I have
They're,
the Rams.
they're
going-
-2, correct?
Yeah, they're -2. They're I just think they're gonna go in possessed. Sean McVay has done well against Seattle. He's like 9-3. I think he just goes in there with Matt Stafford, shows him what what Stafford is, and shows him like everyone like we're still legit. Like, yeah, we lost to the Cardinals, but we're still here.
Mhm. That was a good game. We didn't really talk about that Rams Cardinal game, but
We definitely forgot to get to that one.
a little disappointing
That's,
from
yeah.
LA there. So hopefully they bounce back.
Yeah.
So
I
Rams
also-
-2. Is that in LA?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. They just had 2 back-to-back games.
No, it's in
LA.
Seattle. It's in Seattle
Yeah.
because we talk about how they play in Seattle and it's a
All
tougher
right.
environment.
All right, at Seattle, and then give me your last pick of the night, Melda.
I didn't want to do this because I was going to pick the Cardinals game. I was going to stay in the NFC West, but I'm picking the Jets to go in and just barely win against Atlanta because I know I didn't want to do it. I really didn't, but it's in London, and just to talk to my point there. It's Woody Johnson. Like, he was in London. He was the ambassador there. Like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that was a thing. So he's gonna
He
pay off
was.
the refs. It's gonna be a smooth. We'll go down big early against the Cardinals. I mean, it's the freaking Hawks. We'll go down early, and then because Atlanta chokes every game. They had an 88% chance to win last game. They blew it against the Redskins. Yeah, we'll kick a game-winning field goal and walk out there, and we'll be talking about how it's the same old Atlanta.
Hey. Melda, it's the Washington football team. You can't come in here throwing our
Oh,
words
my
around.
My bad. Sorry, I forgot.
I
No,
love
that is a good point though. Woody Johnson's going to pull some strings over in London to get the win.
Yeah, they got a lot of Jets fans over there.
Big
I mean, I
fan
said-
base.
I said 14-3. I got to back it up somehow. That's my.
Fair.
Yeah, because
That
if
is fair.
they lose next game, then that's out the window.
So what's that? What's that? Jets are +3 versus the Falcons, I think.
Yeah, they're +3, but again, it's the Falcons. Like, I think Calvin Ridley's gonna give us problems. I mean, that offense is really good, but that's tough.
No, I agree with you. I think the Jets are going to beat them. Doesn't even matter what the plus minus is
Because it's in London, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
doesn't matter.
It's
because they're
it's
just
actually
going to win.
great for the Jets because it counts as an away game, but it's really like that's home field for us.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you.
Home field. You think it's really a home field advantage?
I do.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
do
because
too.
again, it's London. They actually
London games-
the Jets have a following in London, believe it or not. Like they do have an actual like decent following that I was surprised to find out about. So that's why I'm like expecting that.
The
I mean,
London
They must be
games-
more depressed than us. because
I mean,
they're Jet fans, but they also live in London.
And I mean, and nobody likes the Falcons. Even people in Atlanta don't root for them. So there's no fans
That's
in
true.
London.
why do you think it's always raining in London? Because they like the Jets.
The London games are the games you just see the fans have just every NFL jersey on, just like repping the league.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. Nice 9:30 a.m. game to start out your Sunday.
Yep.
All right, so we've got to recap, Melda, with the Browns over the Chargers, the Bills over the Chiefs, Rams -2 in Seattle, and the Jets +3 against the Falcons in London. Thank you for coming on, Melda. We appreciate
Man. It was nice to finally put a face to the name in the chat. I've never met you before. So thank you for coming on. We'll bring you back on when the Jets go on their 14-game win streak and make
we'll
the
see around
playoffs.
the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll talk then.
God
We'll bring you
damn
back on. Thank you once again. And if you're going to hop back in the live chat, you could hear our picks.
We're going to give our picks. And we'll
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it a lot.
No problem, man.
Absolutely, Melda.
Have a great night, bro.
Yeah.
All right. How do we do this?
We'll restart. We'll go back to Chargers Bills. No,
Yes,
Chargers
hold
Browns.
Yes. Hold on. I just got to fix my camera again because everything's stupid all the time.
Nice. There it goes.
Okay. All right. That was fun. He said sorry. His Zoom was super delayed. It wasn't. You were fine.
Seemed pretty smooth.
Yeah, it seemed pretty smooth to me. All right. So we have our offset caption: Chargers at Browns. Who wants to go first?
I think Matt should do the honors. It's his team.
Oh God! All right.
He didn't want it. He didn't want it. You can tell.
This is a tough game, man. This is a really tough game. I think that the Browns match up really well against the Chargers in terms of like what their strengths are versus what the Chargers' weaknesses are. The Chargers' run defense is very suspect. They actually did very well on Monday night against the Raiders. Josh Jacobs has been banged up. He was like very, very questionable. Wasn't announced as the starter until like an hour before the game. So you wonder how that played into it. So the Chargers' run defense is not great. Obviously, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the best running back duo in the league. And while the offensive line for LA has been a lot better than it was last year, they are missing Brian Bulaga on the right side, meaning they have their backup Storm Norton as the right tackle, and he might be the worst football player in the NFL. Storm, his first name is Storm. That's ridiculous, but
Kind of hype.
It is.
I mean, he plays like his first name is Pillow. So as a right tackle, you just can't have
Thunder
that.
on the left side.
Thunder. Hey, Rashawn Slater on the left side. He's already the best left tackle in football. But I digress. Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, whoever lines up against Storm Norton is going to eat him alive. I don't like the matchup. I'm taking the Browns.
Coward.
I'm taking the Browns. I don't want to be emotional.
This is a flashback to one of our most famous ads all the way back in 2019 when Matt goes, I want to take the Chargers in this one. And then we could do a little rewind, and he's fraud.
Well, they won?
I don't know. We were doing picks, and you didn't take them, and we were like, are you kidding me? Because you talk shit. You talk shit, bro.
The Cleveland Browns are a very good football team.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead.
I think it's a bad matchup.
I'm gonna be doing what Matt should do, and I'm gonna take the Browns as well.
There you go.
After what you just told me about the whole backup tackle situation, Storm is in for a day. I think he's gonna get a lot of reps. Will it be good reps? I don't know. If the Chargers' run defense isn't that great and their offensive line is struggling right now with some backups, this is not the team you want to be going up against.
Really bad matchup.
Yeah. Fully expecting a great day from Nick Chubb because he's been quiet for the past few weeks. So, he's looking for that 200-yard game, 3 touchdowns coming up. Give me the Browns. They've been up and down this season. I think that they're looking for they got to start clicking. This seems like a nice game to get. I'm talking offensively. Because, they're playing pretty well as a team, but, offensively, they haven't fully clicked yet. So we'll see what they can do here against the Chargers, coming off a great win. I mean, obviously, I would not be surprised if the Chargers win. They're a great team. Looks like it. But I'm going to take the Browns.
I mean, let's not forget that Justin Herbert is an absolute fucking baller. So
Yeah.
that he could just backpack the team.
I am going. I'm going the opposite way from you guys. I'm going to take the Chargers. You guys are right that the matchup isn't great, but you got night and day at quarterback here. Baker Mayfield was not doing too bad before last week, but he looked really bad against the Vikings. Just missing guy. He threw for 155 yards, missing open receivers. Absolutely no chemistry with Odell Beckham Jr. I think if the Chargers get out to a lead, it's going to be hard for the Browns to pass their way back into this one. The Chargers have a very high-powered offense. Justin Herbert looks like a stud, certified Pro Bowler at the end of this season. I think the Chargers are going to get out to a lead. The Browns are not going to be able to rely on their two-headed monster at running back. They're going to force Baker Mayfield to throw the ball, and that's not going to go well for the Browns.
I also agree with you, Alex. I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well. I don't know. They just seem like, to me, the best 3-1 team there is right now. I know that there's the Cardinals 4-0, but pretty much one of the better 3-1 teams. Justin Herbert, like you said, they're just going to get out to an early lead and hopefully hold it. Baker Mayfield did not look good last week. Just kept overthrowing guys, like you were saying, so out of sync with Odell Beckham. And honestly, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt get it, like a very good duo, but they haven't been doing too well, especially like for my boy Rich over there for his fantasy team. But yeah, I'm gonna take the.
You guys trying to trade for Chubb is what I'm getting for this.
Hey, I asked him.
Oh, I got two guys going head to head. I forgot. Keenan and Chubb.
The thing is with Baker, and I've always been a big Baker supporter. The way he started out this season, it looks like, and I know he's like, 24, 25 years old. It's like, I don't want to say this definitively. He seems like he's plateaued and like this just is who he is, where he's not going to like lose you a game necessarily. He's not going to go above and beyond and win you a game. He kind of just seems like an average quarterback, and the trajectory that he's been on, you would hope that he would have taken a next step. I don't think he's taken that next step yet so far this season.
I feel like, and this was a little bit of a narrative last season, and people pushed back against it because people just thought that it was getting made up out of thin air. But when Odell Beckham is on the field, he plays worse. I don't know if he forces him the ball. He feels pressure to get him his targets, and it causes him to press. But once Odell Beckham went down last year, Baker kind of settled into his own. He was spreading the ball around to all these different receivers, and the Browns played really well, and they made the playoffs. I don't know if it's like a psychological thing that when Odell Beckham is on the field, Baker just doesn't have it. But it's something to keep an eye on going forward. Baker so far this season has the 7th worst adjusted completion percentage, barely ahead of Zach Wilson. He was playing pretty well, like just from summary stats perspective over the first 3 games, but you just want to keep an eye on him and make sure that he's not costing this team games.
To the Odell point, which I think that it's starting to seem like there is something there, like legitimate. They're also missing Jarvis Landry, who is Baker's favorite target. Like Jarvis has been very good when he's on the field for them in terms of receptions and like making plays. So maybe when Jarvis comes back, they'll be able to spread it out more. It seems Odell's really the only receiver that they have right now. But it is something worth keeping an eye on for sure.
I mean, he's also been back for 2 games, right?
Yeah, but it's not even about how Odell's playing, to Alex's point. It's like the way Baker plays when Odell is there. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get no, that's true. You look at the game logs from last year, from when Odell went out. Like he just completely took off. Baker had like a bunch of 300-yard games, and then in the playoffs he played well in that first round against Pittsburgh. They went at it with Kansas City. It's weird. I don't know. Is it just like a mental thing? Thinks he has to get him the ball, or
I don't. Just from observing Baker Mayfield over the past couple of years, he seems to be somebody who's, I don't know. He's in his own head. He's constantly in post game press conferences, making references to the way he played, which is normal, obviously, but he's like funny about it. I wouldn't be surprised if just Odell Beckham's presence makes him uncomfortable and it makes him press. But if I can circle back to the Browns pass rush for a second, their pass rush is obviously great, and it will be giving the Chargers O-line a problem on Sunday, but I think the X factor there is going to be Austin Eckler, and Justin Herbert is a good enough quarterback at this point that he knows where to go with the ball when he's getting pressure like that. There are going to be a lot of dump offs to Austin Eckler in this game, and he looked great against the Raiders. He had a big blow up game.
It might have been the best game of his career, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm expecting a big game from Eckler if the Chargers win this one.
Not with Jock out there.
Oh,
that guy's locking down anyone on the field.
No, it'll be interesting to see it.
He's a rookie linebacker on the Browns.
Yeah, he's been
from Notre Dame. Yeah, he's been really good.
He was supposed to be a first-round pick. He slid into the second. And
he had like a heart issue.
Best rookie.
Yeah, his initials are JOK, so they call him Jock.
Yeah. Is he good at covering backs?
He's good at everything. He'll play quarterback.
Yeah.
Wow. They should put him in for Baker.
One of those like athletic linebacker safety hybrid guys. But all right, we'll move on from that game. It's going to be very close and competitive. I think we all can agree on that. Next, you have the Sunday night game. I think, where did we say this game was? In Buffalo?
It was in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
So the Buffalo Bills going into Kansas City to play the Chiefs.
All right, who went last?
I went last, so I'll go first. This is obviously, like the last game, a super tough game to pick. It's debatably two of the top AFC teams and the two top AFC teams. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I don't know. Just the way, the Chiefs have been playing, 2-2. Patty Mahomes, obviously, Patty Mahomes with that defense is so suspect. Like, they cannot keep a lead for Patrick Mahomes. And I think the Buffalo Bills are, again, like one of those top three teams in the league. And they're just going to not run over, but, they're going to put up a lot of points. And it's just if Patrick Mahomes can keep up with them. So I think I'm going to take the Bills this game.
Yeah, it's my turn, right, Richard?
Yeah, so I'm just
snaking it.
Yeah, we're snaking it. Sorry.
So I'm gonna, bring some history into this. I've noticed over the past couple of seasons, or at least last season when the Bills really got hot. Basically, what I'm going to say is this is not going to be a close game either way. Either the Bills are going to demolish them and they're going to, they're going to get all cocky and they're going to do their thing where they just absolutely eviscerate a team, or they're going to be very undisciplined. They're going to have a lot of penalties. They're going to press, and they're going to get smoked by a better team in the Chiefs. And so I say that to say that I'm going to take the Chiefs because I don't know. We've seen the Chiefs and Bills play before. I mean, we saw it just last season in the playoffs, and a lot of people, including myself, had the Bills going to the Super Bowl and knocking the Chiefs off. The Chiefs have been there so many times. Patty Mahomes has been there so many times in the spotlight. This is going to be a Sunday night game. Everybody is going to be watching. I don't think the Chiefs are worried about the start that they're having. Yeah, they lost 2 games. So what? They know They know what Patty Mahomes is capable of. They still have Tyreek. They still have Kelsey. They still have everybody that they need to contend for a championship. And I'm not gonna get cute with this one. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I can totally see Sunday Night Football. The Chiefs get out to a little lead. The Bills start to press. They start with the penalties, and the game just gets away from them. Especially in Kansas City, it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Look, I'm not taking anything away from the Bills. They're obviously a great offense. They're going to probably be in the AFC Championship, maybe playing the Chiefs. But a lot on this show, we talk about teams and their schedule and, who they've beat and if it's, anyone relevant. And, after their week 1 loss, they beat the Dolphins, who people thought would be a good team. Tua got knocked out in that game. It was that game, right? They beat him 35-0. Then they played what has been a lackluster Washington defense, not living up to the hype at all for what people thought. And then they beat the Texans. So they have, these are teams that can't score points. I mean, Washington put up 21 on them, and then obviously the Dolphins and the Texans both scored 0. This is the first team they're really playing that's going to be able to keep up with them. I don't think they're going to drop 40 on the Chiefs. I mean, maybe, but it's not going to be a blowout this time. You're going to have to play a close game. You're going to have to play a well-coached, well-disciplined game if you want to win this one. And, who wins shootouts more than the Kansas City Chiefs? I agree with what you're saying, Alex. Like, they're going to come to play for this one. They know that at this point, like, they're not messing around. There's teams that are, stacking wins on them. Right now, the Bills are 3-1. So beat the Bills 3-2. You're already ahead of them in the standings in terms of seeding. So it's a big game. I know it's early in the year, but they're going to be close in record all year. At least I think so. I'm sure you guys agree. So I think Kansas City is gonna come down. I'm not saying they're in first place in the division or anything, man. I see your.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. I mean, they're worried about the Bills' record. They're in last place in their own division.
Yeah. That's true.
Every other team's 3-1.
They're 2-2. I mean, we know the Raiders and the stupid idiot Broncos are gonna.
No, they're not gonna
fall off. So it's gonna be Chargers, Chiefs, Bills probably vying for that top spot in the AFC.
So you're taking the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of points that you guys are making that in typical most occasions I would agree with. The Bills 35-0 against Miami, 40-0 against the Texans, and they scored 43 points against the Washington football team. Yeah, those opponents are not great, but if you're scoring 35, 40 points a game, I mean, like, they are firing on all cylinders right now. How they lost week 1 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, seeing how the Steelers are playing right now, makes no sense to me. So they should probably be 4-0. They look like they've corrected all the mistakes from that week 1 game, and they are absolutely rolling right now. And you're talking about a Chiefs offense that can keep up with them, but to Miguel's point, the Chiefs defense is horrendous. I mean, they've been in shootouts with the Baltimore Ravens and with the LA Chargers. They lost both of those because their defense can't seem to make a stop. And Alex, to what you said about how we've seen the Chiefs Bills before, I agree. And that's why I picked the Chiefs in week 2 against the Ravens, because we've seen the Chiefs and the Ravens before, and the Ravens won that game. So maybe there's something different about this Chiefs defense right now, that they are not nearly ready to go, or something's missing. And if they're going to drop games to the Ravens where they usually do win comfortably, I think that the Bills can exploit this team as well, and they can go shot for shot with Patrick Mahomes in that offense. I'm going to take the Bills. I think it'll be a close game, but until proven otherwise, right now the Bills are the best team in the AFC, and they seem unstoppable on offense right now, and I'm not going to bet against them.
I agree. They can go shot for shot with them. I just think they got to do it for a whole game, against like whatever. I feel like in these big matchups, defenses have a habit of showing up and playing better than they really are. Like, you usually don't see a game like this unless it was like Rams Chiefs a few years ago. It was like 55-50 or whatever it was. Like, you really don't see that too often. It's usually in the 20s, like maybe low 30s, this type of game. So, like, I don't think the defenses are going to be giving up 40 points each.
Even
like I
still,
said,
if it's in the 20s and your defense can't make a stop when they have to, I mean, they played the Ravens on prime time. It wasn't a 50.
We don't know what the Bills' defense is. They haven't played anyone that can move the ball, and the defenses they're playing are giving up 30 points per game to everyone. So I mean, I think they're going to score. I'm not saying they're not going to score. I just this is a real it's tough to go from from the Texans defense to Patrick Mahomes. It's
But he's not playing defense.
I meant offense. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like it's tough to go from Davis Mills and whoever the hell they have to Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. It's a whole different.
Listen, I think it'll be a toss-up. I would trust the Bills defense to get a timely stop more than I would trust the Chiefs right now, and that's why I'm going to go with Buffalo. But
because
I'm not
Bill.
You're never going to be wrong with the Chiefs.
I agree with that, but I think the Bills offense is more likely to shoot themselves in the foot than the Chiefs offense is.
Josh Allen is a fucking superstar.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not saying Josh Allen's great, but there's something about that team. They're always heavily penalized. They just seem like they have a very big chip on their shoulder sometimes, which is as a chip on their shoulder always is. It's good in some situations and sometimes it's really bad. And I've seen them in prime time just let games get away from them because they're holding guys, they're hitting guys in the back, they're going downfield, they're not focused, and that's not something that a Chiefs team is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
that's true. So we're 2-2 on each of these games, which is
finally we're usually
exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I'm picking the same game, and then I'm going against you guys 3-1.
Well, I didn't even give an update on the standings. I'll do that afterwards. But all right, let's get into our spread.
I'm in last.
That is true.
Seems people are pretty torn on that game. So
the Bills Chiefs game?
Yeah, in the chat. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, it should be a great game. Sunday Night Football. We'll be able to all tune in and watch uninterrupted.
Oh, yes.
I'll start out with our spread picks. I'm with Melda on this one for my first pick. I'm going to take the Rams -2.5 tomorrow night in Seattle. We all took the Rams against the Cardinals last week, so we all took a loss there. Maybe we thought the Cardinals had a chance, but I didn't expect the Cardinals to really go in there and put it away comfortably. They were leading the whole game. They looked great against LA, and I think that the Rams are in for a big bounce back here on Thursday night. And specifically so, Rich, we talked about you put in your MVP Russell Wilson bet that's over. But the reason that, we've always talked about Russell Wilson is he'll start out really hot, then he'll have one of those weird games, and then he'll kind of fall off. He'll have games where he just throws 3 interceptions, 100 yards, whatever. If that's a game that's coming up, if he's due for one of those games, I feel like a short week Thursday night against this Rams defense could be one of those games where that Seahawks offense kind of sputters and never gets going. So I'm going to take the Rams -2.5. I know it's in Seattle. It's a tough place to play, but I feel like the short week will benefit the Rams, or it'll hurt Seattle more than it'll hurt the Rams. So I'm going to take LA there.
All right. I'm going to go with a team that has done pretty well for me. I think I picked them a few times this year with the spread. I might have only done it once. I'm stupid. Give me Carolina -3.5 against Philly. I don't like after week 1, I was saying Philly looks like a surprise team in the NFC East, and they look not great at all. I mean, they were kind of hanging in there with the Chiefs, but it was never really, a game. Nothing seemed to be threatened for Kansas City. But, that we talk about them every time. That pass rush is going to get to Jalen Hurts. I feel like that offense is really struggling to find an identity. They don't commit to running the ball. They Hurts isn't that great of a passer. There's nothing that they can really lean on to get things going. And I think that's something that this Panthers defense can take advantage of. Another not great team, not great offense that, we can all talk about how they're not legit because they don't play anyone. If McCaffrey practiced today, so he might be back. I like Panthers -3.5 against the struggling Philadelphia Eagles.
So you have picked, just looking back, you've picked the Panthers last week against the Cowboys.
That was a game of the week, though.
Still picked them, lost.
Not a spread, but I picked them in the spread with the Texans.
And you picked them against the Texans, yeah. So you're 1-1 with the Panthers.
Okay. So we're 500.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. Yeah, Kornfeld said Philly, horribly coached team. Yes, they are. And that's something, there's going to be holds. There's going to be, DJ Moore is going to fucking tear their shit up.
Okay. All right.
Who's next, me or Egal?
Robbie Anderson is going to show them what Deshaun Jackson's like when he's on the other team.
Okay. I am.
They've probably played him.
Yeah, he's been on every team in the league. All
For
right,
my
Alex.
first pick, I'm going to go Tennessee -4.5 over Jacksonville. Jacksonville has had quite a wild week, which we didn't even talk about, with this whole major distraction of Urban Meyer finger blasting a girl in a college bar in Ohio.
Quick scrappy.
Damn right.
Instead of traveling with his team. Apparently, that ruffled a lot of feathers over on the Jacksonville roster.
Don't believe it.
Not ideal for a quarterback who's about to be starting his 5th career game. Not ideal for a roster that's depleted of talent. And then over on the other side of the fence, Tennessee looks to be getting AJ Brown back this week. Still hopeful for Julio Jones. He was a DNP today to start their practice week, but if he suits up, I think if him and Brown both suit up, I think this line is going to move. So I'll take Tennessee -4.5.
I like it.
I was actually gonna pick that game, but then
You can still pick it.
I know, but I just saw that Julio was out, and you never know about AJ Brown. But anyways,
He practiced today.
did he?
If that's anything for you, yeah, limited session.
All right. Well, I'm still not gonna pick it, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the Green Bay Packers -3 over the Bengals. That's definitely a tough game to pick, but I don't know. It just seems like Green Bay's been like on a good, train lately. They've been playing pretty well. Aaron Rodgers, since what was it, week 1? He just been finding Devontae Adams, finding ways to win football games, and I don't know. I think for the 3 points against the Bengals, who have always known to have been like a pretty bad team, and like, I don't know, is their defense like anything special? I know that the Packers is missing. They're missing
Packers
somebody on
defense is
defense.
bad.
Yeah,
Darius Smith got hurt.
there you go. Big guy. It's a big guy.
Very good.
But I still feel confident in taking Green Bay with those 3 points. So let me lock that in.
All right.
All right.
Good pick.
And then I guess it's coming back to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Rich, I'm going to go ahead and copy you here, and I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers -3.5.
Jesus.
Carolina Panthers -3.5.
You're not allowed. You're a hater.
I was thinking about that one too.
Yeah, it's definitely a good game, but like you said, like I'm just not a huge believer in Hurts. I've said that last few weeks. Still not.
Liar.
Come on.
You know
And
what
also,
you did.
I don't know what I did. I don't even know what I did. How do you know what I did?
You said Philly should be happy with Hurts. Pick 6.
Oh, that was so fucking funny.
Anything I say, if anyone doesn't know this, anything that I say, the opposite just immediately happens.
Immediate.
Like, it's so stupid. But anyways, I don't know. Sam Darnold's started to impress me now. Starting. Then say I'm impressed. Starting to.
Okay.
And 3.5 points, baby. Give me that shit.
Is McCaffrey playing, Rich?
He might. He practiced. It really seems like this whole thing was sort of a precaution. They're just being extra careful with him. They might just be like, screw it, keep him out one more week to be safe. But I mean, if he's practicing, if he
They
feels
love
good,
when he doesn't play.
yeah, they do. They really do, and I do too. When he's on my fantasy bench, it's great.
How
so
did
we'll see.
Schuba do?
He had like 11 points or something, not even. It was okay. I mean, I didn't really need any points from anyone with who I
Oh,
played
fuck
this week.
you. Fuck you.
0 from my kicker, you know.
Yeah. He still
All right.
outscored half my team.
Alex had to call an ambulance when he found out I started an inactive kicker.
How many times are you gonna let this happen?
No, it's
No.
becoming a problem.
No, you saw why it wasn't.
I saw
Yeah,
why.
I saw you sucking wings at fucking the kickoff, and you didn't even check your phone.
All I know is if Gould was on my fantasy team, he would have played through it.
That's true too.
He's on my. I have 2 kickers on IR. We don't
That's
cut anyone
kinda-
around here.
All right, Alex. Give
All
your
right.
pick.
Shut up, Cornfeld.
For my second pick,
What he
He said,
said.
makes me sick in the chat.
for my second pick, I'm going. We had a nice long conversation about the Giants earlier. I am going Cowboys -7.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, the Giants haven't played anyone as good as the Cowboys, and they're 1-3. I think the Cowboys are just going to demolish them. I think their offense is way too high powered for the Giants defense. Cowboys defense is nothing to write home about, but as we were saying before, they have yet to execute on all 3 stages of the game. It seems like in forever over the past few seasons. I don't think that's going to happen this Sunday, so I think the Cowboys beat them by more than a touchdown.
All right, I like it. All right. I feel like I do some shocking ones every week. I'm going to go Monday night.
With the Jets.
No, Monday night football. Give me the Colts +7 against the Ravens.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that one's a little high. Look, they're 1-3, but every year I feel like the Colts sort of start off like not playing well, and they kind of just turn it around, and you're like, oh wait, they're actually like not as
Who the
bad as
hell's
they
their
seem.
quarterback? Is it still Wentz?
Yeah, he's not having he's at least not turning the ball over like he was last year. I mean, he's not lighting
I
it up.
swear I haven't seen them play once.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing okay, but I think he's getting acclimated a little more. They played in some close games, and you never know with the Ravens. The Ravens just, one game they're beating the Chiefs, and then they have to beat the Lions on a
That's
NFL
true.
record field goal. So I think 7 is pretty big spread. So I like them +7. I don't think they'll actually win outright, but I think they could keep it close.
7 is a big number.
Yeah,
That
those
is
big
a
numbers are tough. Yeah, they don't show them on Red Zone, Kornfeld said. That is true. It could be we all have wing sauce in our eyes every time they're on the screen.
Yeah.
because-
I said this week 1, and it still remains. I don't think I've seen Wentz in a Colts jersey yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what he looks like.
Just not in the red
pretty sure
zone, I guess.
Yeah, they just don't even come close.
I think he threw 2 touchdowns last week.
Wait,
Who
who
they
did
play?
Melda
They
just
beat-
call
they
out?
beat-
He did.
Melda
Imagine
just
saying
called
Danny
out.
Dimes is the best and bet against him. Oh, he's called out Alex. How you doing?
This is the same person that said the Jets are making the playoffs.
Oh, that is true, Melda. That is true. You said 14-3, so I think that excommunicated from the chat.
But now he goes, fun fact, I can't count to 7, so you don't even know what he's talking about.
Kirby said Saints and Bills in the chat. Are you saying you're taking them, whatever the spread is?
Saints and Bills.
He just said
The
those
Saints.
teams.
Those are 2 football teams.
They play in the
Saints.
NFL.
Well, hey, shout out Kirby. He went 3-1. He put out for the fans last week.
Job.
Put out
You-
for
you
the
real-
fans. Oof.
Put out for the fans. That's what Kirby
You
does.
hear that,
Put-
Kirby?
Kirby puts out. He does. They're actually playing Washington -2, which is not a bad line at all. But I'm going to put my money where my mouth is after we had an extended conversation today about the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to take the Eagles +3.5 against the Panthers. So I'm going to be fading Egal and Richard here. This will be a very, very important game for us in our picks, as there are 3
Wow.
guys on the same game. Listen, like I said off the air today, and I'll bring it onto the air. I'm really not that impressed with the Panthers to this date. They won 3 games against average teams. I think that they're a similar situation to the Denver Broncos. Not as bad of opponents.
But when
I
the
do
Bills
like
do
this
it,
game.
it's they're the best team in the AFC.
They have a proven track record. They're not even similar to the Carolina Panthers.
It's fine. No, it's
They
fine.
were in the fucking AFC Championship.
They
game
were
last
where they were.
Yeah, they were. And where were the
It's
Panthers?
2021.
Donald was on the worst team in NFL history.
It's 2021.
So I think that the Carolina Panthers are a little bit better version of the Denver Broncos. And
Okay.
to that point, the Eagles can score points.
That's disrespectful.
Jalen Hurts has shown that he makes his fair share of mistakes, but he will also make big plays and they'll put up points. The Eagles they got smoked by the Chiefs last week, but they still scored like 20 something points, 28. They were in that game towards the end. And I don't know, the Panthers, they just traded for Stephon Gilmore. Guess what? He's out till week 7. So what are we even talking about? He's not playing on Sunday.
They have Brian Burns and Hassan
They
Reddick.
have
And
Brian Burns. If I hear
Shaq
Brian Burns'
Thompson.
name on this podcast one more time, all I hear is Brian Burns.
'Cause he's
He's the only pass
filthy.
rusher in the NFL.
I was naming multiple pass rushers that are great, which is why Jalen
Shaq
Hurts
Lawson.
will break his leg. I
Shaq
don't
Thompson.
He's
Shaq
out for the
Thompson.
game too,
Shaq Thompson?
I think. Or maybe
Okay,
not.
so what are we even talking about then?
He's a king.
I'll take the Eagles. I'll take the 3.5. I think that they're going to win the game outright. But for 3.5 points, I would gladly gobble that
I think
up.
they're going to win the game outright.
Yes. Why are the Panthers some unbeatable team all of a sudden?
I mean, what
They're not, but they're better than the Eagles.
Why it remains to be seen.
Like to touch any NFC East team besides the Cowboys in any of these is just shame on you.
Well, we will see. That's going to be
What'd you
the
say,
fucking
Eagle?
I
game
don't
of
want
the
to
week.
hear any complaining if McCaffrey suits up, though.
So,
Won't even make
I
a
said
difference.
Rich.
He won't make Christian McCaffrey won't make a difference.
The Eagles lost to the Niners, Chiefs, and fucking Cowboys. I mean, yeah, their defense is not great, but I mean,
Okay,
they're
they got
going to be able to score points.
they got smoked by the Cowboys though. No shot. The Panthers
Yeah, but
had
they
made it a game.
scored 21 points. They scored 30 points against the Chiefs. They'll be in the game. They'll be able to go. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback.
We'll see. We'll find out when he throws for 103 yards.
He threw for like 340 last week.
He's actually 390.
I'll just
They'll
keep
score
saying.
less than 20 points.
390?
It was 387. I rounded up for the idiot.
Wow. All right. I can't wait for that game.
It's gonna be
It's a
fun.
big one. It's definitely a big one for him.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Kirby said Russell Wilson is super nasty on Thursday Night Football, so he likes the Seahawks tomorrow. I'm not sure the stats there, but I believe him. 3-1.
Oh, I remember last year that Cardinals Seahawks Thursday night game that was fucking amazing. Went to overtime. Kirby might be onto something, and I went the complete opposite way. I thought Wilson would be terrible on Thursday nights.
Yeah, you're
So
saying
that
it's
was-
going to be one of those Wilson sucks games. All right, I guess that brings us to the end of the show. You hate to finish it off with Matt saying something dumb with that Eagles pick, but it is what it is.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be a fun weekend of football. We're usually on Tuesday. We were Wednesday this week. We'll be back next Tuesday, hopefully, to give you immediate reactions to that.
We
week
will
of
be
football.
because the Yankees won't be playing.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the Yankees ruining anybody else's night this year. Fucking
Exactly.
shit,
All
Garrett
right.
Cole. Shitty shit, fuck.
That's why we don't talk baseball on this show. All right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. And